Good morning or good afternoon, and welcome wherever you're joining from. I'm Jason Fitzgerald, VP of Product for Blustream here in the US, and I want to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to be here. So, in this session, we're going to walk through our Dante audio solutions, what they are, where they fit, and most importantly, how they can help you deliver scalable, flexible audio distribution for your customers. Now, for those that may be newer to it, Dante, which is developed by Audinate, is an industry standard audio over IP platform that allows you to route uncompressed, low latency digital audio over standard network infrastructure. Now, so what it means is that for you as a dealer is simplified cabling, easy system expansion, and the ability to move audio anywhere on the network with precision and reliability. Throughout this webinar, we'll focus on real-world applications and how Blustream's Dante-enabled products integrate into both residential and commercial projects that'll give you the right tools to design smarter, more efficient systems. So just a quick note before we get started, your microphones are obviously muted for the duration of this session to avoid really any background noise. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and drop them into the chat or the Q&A and we'll answer them or type them there live where possible. And then we'll just circle back around to the end if we missed anything. So let's go ahead and get started. So as we go through today's session, you'll hear us reference the acronym DEP or DEP, which stands for Dante Embedded Platform. And I want to take a moment to quickly explain what that means. So during and after COVID, many of you actively working with Dante likely experienced the impact of chipset shortages. So products built around traditional Dante hardware, of course developed by Audinate, were often difficult to source, leading to extended lead times and project delays. This is exactly where that DEP we just talked about changes the game. So instead of relying on dedicated Dante hardware modules like Ultimo, Brooklyn, or Broadway, DEP is a software-based implementation of Dante that runs on a wide range of third-party chipsets, including ARM-based Linux platforms. So Audinate still develops and licenses the technology, but manufacturers like Blustream now have the flexibility to select and manage the underlying hardware. So that translates into far more consistent product availability, right? And of course, greater confidence when specifying Dante products. So beyond availability, this approach also gives us deeper control over how the platform is implemented. So that means we can unlock additional features or improve system performance and deliver more advanced control options, such as integrated web GUIs and more flexible routing compared to earlier fixed chip solutions. So over the past few years, Blustream has been actively transitioning our Dante product lineup to DEP. And today, the majority of our new and updated solutions are built on this platform. So as we move through the rest of this presentation, I'll highlight where DEP is being used and, more importantly, what that means for you in a real-world installation. So let's jump straight into the first category of products, our Dante audio converters. These are some of the most practical and widely used tools in the lineup, designed to bridge the gap between traditional analog or digital audio signals in a Dante network. So whether you're bringing a microphone, media players, or legacy audio sources onto the network, or extracting audio from Dante back into amplifiers or DSPs, this is where it all starts. For a dealer, these products are often the entry point into Dante. They make it easy to integrate networked audio into existing systems without needing to completely redesign the infrastructure. They're also incredibly flexible, perfect for retrofit projects or system expansion, or just to simply add networked audio capability exactly where it's needed. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at that range. Now we're going to go ahead and get started with our DA11 ADE V2, or sometimes the DA11 ADE V2. So like all Dante-enabled products in the Blustream range, this unit also supports AES67, giving you interoperability beyond a purely Dante environment, which is ideal for mixing or open standard audio networks. So at its core, this is a straightforward Dante, or AES67, to analog audio decoder. It's designed to take audio from anywhere on the network and deliver it locally, which is perfect for feeding amplifiers, DSPs, or even active speakers exactly where you need them. Now, this is our first product in the range to feature the Dante Embedded Platform, or DEP. Now, that'll give you additional flexibility through a built-in web interface, allowing for simple IP configuration and per-channel output gain adjustment directly on the device. And as you'd expect, core Dante parameters, like sample rates and device latency, these are all still managed through the Dante controller, so the workflow remains consistent with what you already know. From a hardware perspective, the unit is built for real-world installations. It features a durable metal enclosure and avoids captive fly leads, which improves long-term reliability in the field. Power is handled via PoE for clean, simple installs with an optional 12-volt input available where PoE isn't present, which is of course going to give you some flexibility across a range of project types. Conversely, this unit is our DA11AEN-V2 or DA11AEN-V2. It's an analog to Dante and AES67 encoder. Where the previous product pulls audio off of the network, this one does the opposite. It takes up to 2 channels of analog audio, whether that's from a mixer, microphone preamp, or local source, and places it onto the Dante network for distribution anywhere in the system. Like its counterpart, it supports AES67 for broader interoperability, giving you flexibility when working across different audio platforms. Now, this unit also benefits from the Dante embedded platform, so you get that same built-in web interface for quick IP configuration, along with independent input sensitivity adjustment on each channel, making it easy to dial in your source levels without additional hardware. And again, core routing, sample rates, and latency are all managed through Dante Controller, keeping everything consistent and familiar from a setup standpoint. From an installation perspective, it follows the same design philosophy, right? So a compact, durable metal enclosure, no captive cables, PoE powered for simplicity, and an optional 12-volt input where needed. Now together, these two units give you a simple, reliable way to move audio on and off of Dante network wherever your project requires it. Next up is our DA11 USB V3. So this product has evolved over a few generations, hence V3. And in its latest iteration, we've introduced updated USB hardware alongside the Dante embedded platform. So this will result in improved overall audio performance and stability. Functionally, this is a bidirectional USB to Dante and AES67 converter. So it can both send and receive audio from USB connected devices on the network. Right? That makes it ideal for applications like connecting a PC, media server, or playback systems directly into a Dante environment. For installation flexibility, it supports both USB Type-C and USB Type-B connections, so depending on your source device. Like the other DEP-enabled products, you get access to a built-in web interface for IP config, along with input sensitivity and gain control. Meanwhile, routing, sample rates, and latency are all handled through Dante Controller, with USB audio supporting rates up to 192 kilohertz. So power is typically delivered via PoE, but if that's not available, the unit can also draw standard 5-volt power directly from the connected USB device. So there's one, of course, important thing to note here. This unit does not include acoustic echo cancellation of any type, so no AEC. So it's not specifically intended for conferencing or soft codec applications. Next up is our DA11 ARC or DA11 ARC, our 2-channel HDMI ARC to Dante encoder. This is another DEP or DEP-enabled product, and it's designed to sit neatly behind a display, allowing you to extract audio directly from the TV's HDMI ARC connection and place it into a Dante or AES67 network. A common application here would be feeding that audio into a Dante-enabled amplifier serving the same zone as the display, keeping everything clean, simple, and on the network. It's important to call out that this unit supports 2-channel audio only via ARC. It doesn't decode multi-channel surround formats like Dolby Digital or DTS. We'll touch on a solution later in this session that's designed for those types of applications. Where this unit really adds value is through the Dante embedded platform with the additional control that the DEP provides. So this unit can interpret CEC commands from the display, so that'll allow you to effectively use the TV remote to control volume by adjusting input sensitivity on the device. As with the rest of the range, you also get the built-in web interface for IP configuration and control, along with PoE power like on the other products for easy installation, durability, and of course, installer-friendly design. It's a simple but powerful way to bring TV audio into a Dante system without additional complexity. So next up is the DA22 OPT or DA22 OPT, which is our optical SPDIF to Dante converter. Now, this unit provides a 2-way bridge between optical digital audio and a Dante or AES67 network, meaning it can both encode and decode 2 channels of digital audio. Now, that gives you a lot of flexibility when working with displays, soundbars, or other devices that rely on optical connections. Like the previous product, it operates strictly in a 2-channel domain, so it's not designed for multi-channel surround formats. However, its ability to handle both input and output makes it a particularly versatile in real-world installations. So for example, you can take an optical audio feed from a display, set it onto the Dante network, and at the same time route that signal back out locally via the optical output simply by linking the transmitter and receiver in Dante controller. Now that's especially useful in scenarios where you have a local soundbar or audio device that still needs a direct feed. As with the rest of the DP-enabled range that we've been talking about, you get those same benefits of the built-in web interface, the IP config, of course, along with input sensitivity and output gain control. Now add to that PoE powering, the optional 12-volt input, and that durable, installer-friendly design, and it becomes a very flexible tool for integrating optical audio into a Dante network. Moving right along is the DA11XLR or DA11XLR, our analog XLR to Dante encoder. So this unit is designed to bring professional audio sources directly onto the Dante network, supporting 2 channels of balanced, unbalanced, or microphone level audio. This makes it ideal for applications like remote microphone locations on podiums or stage inputs that need to feed into a wider distributed Dante system. A key feature here is the inclusion of switchable 48-volt phantom power, allowing you to support condenser microphones without any kind of additional hardware. Thanks to the Dante embedded platform, that phantom power can be enabled or disabled remotely via API control, giving you added flexibility for system design and integration, especially in larger or centrally managed installations. As with the rest of the range, like everything else, you'll benefit from the built-in web interface for IP config and input sensitivity adjustment, along with PoE powering for simple deployment and installer-friendly designs. Now, just a quick heads up, we're also developing a decoder version of this product, so keep an eye out for that later this year. So we're going to move on into some of our more advanced converters in the range. This here is the DA22 DIG or DA22 DIG. This is one of our original Dante-enabled products, and it differs slightly from what we've covered so far in that it does not use the Dante embedded platform. And as a result, IP configuration is handled directly within Dante controller, while input sensitivity, output gain, and 48-volt phantom power are adjusted using the physical controls on this unit. Now, in terms of functionality, this is a very flexible dual-purpose converter. On the input side, you can select between analog audio with optional phantom power for microphones, optical SPDIF, or coaxial digital audio, all in a 2-channel format. Now, these can be encoded onto the Dante network. On the output side, it simultaneously provides analog, optical, and coaxial digital audio from a Dante source elsewhere on the network. So effectively, you're getting both an encoder and a decoder in a single unit. From a system design perspective, that can significantly reduce hardware requirements, replacing multiple standalone converters and minimizing the number of network ports needed at the switch. Power is supplied via PoE for streamlined installations, and we've also included a 12-volt power supply for added flexibility like you've seen with so many other products so far. Overall, it's a compact, highly versatile solution for bridging multiple audio formats into and out of a Dante system. Next up, we have our DA44AU or DA44AU, which is our 4x4 Dante audio encoder and decoder. So this unit gives you 4 channels of analog audio input that can be encoded onto a Dante or AES67 network, along with 4 channels of Dante audio decoding back out to analog, all within a single rack-mountable device. Each input also supports selectable 48-volt phantom power, making it ideal for microphone-based applications. It's important to note that this is not an audio matrix. Instead, think of it as multiple independent Dante encoders and decoders just all in one chassis. All routing between inputs and outputs is handled within Dante controller, giving you full flexibility at the network level. From a system design standpoint, this approach helps reduce hardware count, minimizes rack space, and lowers the number of network connection requirements. So this will, of course, then reduce potential points of failure. So like the DA22 DIG that we just saw, this unit doesn't currently use the Dante embedded or DEP platform. That means control of the phantom power, input sensitivity, and output gain is handled via the front panel interface or serial control rather than a web-based UI. You'll also get redundant Dante network ports for added reliability, along with a robust rack-friendly design, making this a strong option for larger or more centralized audio deployments. Now, we're going to move on to our wall plate solutions, and the first one up here is the DA22XLR WPV2. So this unit is designed to bring Dante connectivity directly to the point of use, and it's available in two form factors, a dual Decora style version for us here in the US market, and for those not here, we also have a double UK or EU backbox format. It provides two channels of balanced or unbalanced audio input, along with two channels of output, making it ideal for spaces like meeting rooms, classrooms, auditoriums, or studio environments where you need local audio connectivity tied into a central Dante system. You also get selectable 48-volt phantom power on the input, so it's ready for microphone applications without any additional hardware. Being a DAP or DEP-enabled product, all key configurations, so that includes IP, phantom, and input sensitivity or output gain, can be managed through the built-in web interface. And as with the rest of the range, routing, sample rates, and latency are still, of course, handled by the Dante controller. Installation is clean and straightforward with PoE powering over a single network cable and an optional power supply included for installations where PoE isn't available. Overall, it's a simple and elegant way to extend Dante audio right into the wall exactly where it's needed. Now, rounding off our conversion tools is the very popular DA11 ABL WP V2 wall plate, right? This is our Bluetooth to Dante interface designed to allow users to wirelessly stream audio from their devices directly into Dante or an AES67 network. It's available in both a single gang Decora style version and a UK or EU backbox format, making it easy to integrate into a wide range of installations. In addition to the Bluetooth, the unit also includes a switchable 3.5mm analog input, along with dual RCA outputs, so you're not limited to wireless audio. It can also handle wired sources, giving you both encoding and decoding capability in a single wall plate. With the Dante embedded platform on board, you'll get full access to the built-in web interface for the same IP config, input sensitivity, and gain control. Of course, beyond that, Bluetooth pairing and device management can also be handled by the API, which is going to be ideal for more advanced or centrally managed systems. There's also a physical pairing button on the front unit for simple local control. This makes it a great fit for environments like hotel rooms, fitness studios, meeting spaces, or anywhere users want to quickly connect their own devices into a professional audio system. And just as a quick preview, we're also working on a dedicated Bluetooth to Dante converter in a standard chassis form factor, which we're targeting for release later this year. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about this guy here. Now this is fairly new. This is, of course, the DA1414, or better known to us as the DA1414. Blustream's first Dante audio matrix. So this is an actual matrix, right? This is where things step up in capability, bringing together analog, USB, and networked audio into a single, fully flexible platform. On the input side, you've got 4 channels of balanced or unbalanced analog audio, each with selectable 48-volt phantom power and independent input sensitivity control. You also have 2 channels of USB audio, accessible via either USB-C or USB Type-B, and then 8 channels of Dante or AES67 audio coming in from elsewhere on the network. That gives you a total of 14 inputs, all of which can be routed to any of the 14 outputs. Those outputs consist of the same 4 analog channels, 2 USB channels, and 8 Dante outputs feeding devices across the network. Unlike the earlier converters, this is a true matrix, so you'll have full cross-point routing between all sources and destinations, all managed through Dante controller and API control via the Dante embedded platform. Beyond routing, you also get a full suite of audio processing tools. That includes volume, balance, and gain control, along with an 8-band parametric EQ on every input and output channel, complete with high and low shelving as well as high pass and low pass filtering. So this isn't just about moving audio, right? Now we're shaping and managing it within the same platform, giving you a powerful, centralized solution for more advanced system designs. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our Dante amplifier solution. So up to this point, we've focused on getting audio onto and off the network, so on and off ramping, but this is where we take that next step and actually drive the speakers directly from Dante. By integrating Dante audio directly into the amplifier, you eliminate the need for separate decoders or external DSPs in a lot of applications. So that means fewer components and simplified designs with faster installation while maintaining all the flexibility of networked audio. Now, as a dealer, this is where Dante really starts to show its value. Cleaner racks, reduced wiring, and the ability to route audio anywhere in the system straight into amplification. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we offer in this category. So we're going to start things off here with the MPA100DA. This is the first of 3 Dante amplifiers in the range, and while it's been in the lineup for a number of years, it continues to be a go-to solution for many commercial and Pro AV installations. At its core, this is a compact but very flexible amplifier, delivering 2 by 50 watts or 100 watts bridged, and supporting both low impedance and 70 or 100 volt constant voltage speaker systems. Where it really stands out is on its input side. You've got 2-channel Dante REA67, optical SPDIF, HDMI ARC with CEC volume control, balanced or unbalanced analog audio, and even a microphone input with selectable 48 volt phantom power. That level of input flexibility allows it to adapt to a wide range of applications without any kind of additional hardware. On the output side, all outputs are active simultaneously with independent muting, level control, and lip sync adjustment, giving you precise control over how audio is being distributed. From a processing and control standpoint, it's equally capable. You've got a 31-band EQ, adjustable gain, and audio delay for lip sync, along with multiple control options, including IP, serial, IR, and trigger inputs. There's also auto standby with signal sensing, so the amplifier can wake automatically when audio is detected. You can also have dual LAN connectivity, allowing you to separate Dante audio traffic from control if required, something that can be particularly useful in larger network deployments. So overall here, we're talking about a highly versatile amplifier that combines multiple inputs, processing, and networked audio into a single compact solution. Moving on over is the MPA70DA. So like the MPA100, this has been a staple in the lineup for a number of years, and it continues to be a popular choice for smaller zones and lower power applications. So this is a compact Dante and AES67 network amp, delivering 2 by 35 watts or 70 watts bridged, hence the name, and also supporting 70 and 100 volt constant voltage systems, making it ideal for retail spaces, meeting rooms, hospitality, or background music applications. Unlike the previous model, this is a network input amplifier only, so all audio is delivered via Dante or AES67, keeping the design simple and focused for distributed audio systems. From a control and processing standpoint, it still offers a strong feature set. You've got that 31-band EQ, adjustable gain, and audio delay for lip sync, along with multiple control options, including IP, serial, IR, and trigger inputs. Now, as with the MPA100DA, you also have the option to run combined or separate networks for Dante and control, thanks to the dual LAN connectivity. And features like auto standby with signal sensing help ensure efficient operation by waking the amplifier when audio is detected on the network. Overall, it's a streamlined, cost-effective solution for delivering networked audio in smaller spaces without compromising on control or flexibility. And finally, we have the smallest guy in the amplifier lineup, the MPA20DA. Right? Don't let the size fool you, though. This is a powerful little solution. At just over 4 by 6 inches, it's a compact PoE-powered Dante and AES67 amplifier, delivering 2 by 10 watts or 20 watts bridged. It's ideal for tight spaces or distributed applications where you want amplification right at the endpoint, behind a display, under a desk, or in a ceiling void. Like the MPA70DA, this is a network input amplifier, so all audio is delivered via Dante or AES67, keeping that install clean and simple with minimal cabling. Now, despite its size, it still includes a full suite of control processing features. You've got that same 31-band EQ, adjustable gain, audio delay for lip sync, and of course the IP or serial control, voltage trigger inputs, and auto standby with signal sensing to wake that audio up when it's present on the network. For dealers, this is going to be a great tool for localized amplification, which will give the ability to place audio exactly where it's needed without relying on central lights or additional infrastructure. It's a small form factor, but a very flexible addition to any Dante-based system. Now, for the final part of today's session, we're going to take a quick look at how Dante audio can be integrated alongside video. Now, up to now, we focus purely on audio, but in real-world installations, audio and video almost always go hand in hand. So this is where we bring those two worlds together. We'll look at how Blustream solutions allow you to manage, route, and synchronize Dante audio within video distribution systems, helping you maintain audio quality and flexibility while ensuring everything stays perfectly in sync. So let's go ahead now and take a look at how we bring all that together. Now, this here is our SW42DA V2. At its core, it's a 4-input HDMI switcher, HDMI 2.0, right? But with powerful audio extraction and Dante integration built in. So you've got 4 HDMI 2.0B inputs and 2 mirrored HDMI outputs. Now, output 1 is a full pass-through that'll, of course, preserve the original video and audio signal at up to 4K 60 at 444 chroma, including advanced formats like Dolby Atmos and DTS HD. Output 2 adds some flexibility by allowing you to downscale video for lower resolution displays while also providing a true audio down mix to 2-channel where required. Where this becomes particularly valuable is on the audio side. The unit can take multi-channel audio from the HDMI sources or even from ARC or eARC on the connected display and convert or pass that audio into multiple formats simultaneously, including Dante, optical, and analog outputs. That means you can take a high-end surround format and make it usable across a wider system. So whether that's feeding a Dante-based audio network, a stereo zone, or a legacy audio equipment, all outputs are active at the same time and are derived from the selected HDMI source or the return audio from the display, giving you a high degree of flexibility in system design. Now, this V2 version builds on the original with increased processing power, expanded Dante and multi-channel decoding capability, and faster HDMI switching, making it a very capable bridge between video distribution and networked audio. Taking a closer look at the audio capabilities of the SW42DAV2 are where this product really stands out. So starting with that HDMI, as I mentioned a moment ago, output 1 provides full pass-through of the selected source, preserving native formats like Dolby Digital, Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, and multi-channel PCM. It can also receive ARC or eARC audio back from a connected display, giving you an additional audio source directly from a screen. Output 2, like I mentioned, gives us that flexibility. You can either follow the source as a bypass or deliver a properly downmixed signal depending on the needs of the installation. Beyond HDMI, the unit offers a wide range of audio breakout options. There's that optical SPDIF output that can carry either 2-channel or up to 5.1-channel audio depending on how the system is configured. And on the analog side, you have a total of 10 outputs via Phoenix connectors. 8 of these provide discrete multi-channel outputs, left, right, center, sub, surrounds, and rears, supporting up to 7.1 audio configurations at preamp audio levels. In addition, there's a dedicated 2-channel stereo downmix output. Now, this is a true downmix, meaning that it retains the center channel dialogue and low frequency effects, or LFE, rather than simply dropping channels. And if it's stereo downmix that isn't required, those outputs can be reassigned to support additional channels, such as height channels, allowing for expanded formats like 5.1.4 or 7.1.2. On the Dante side, all of these channels are available individually within Dante Controller and are clearly labeled based on Dolby and DTS channel conventions. That makes routing and integration into a wider network system straightforward and intuitive. And what you see here are some additional reserved channels that are going to be there for future development, giving you room to grow as new features and formats are introduced. And as you can see here in Dante Controller, each of those channels are clearly labeled and presented individually, making routing simple and intuitive within the wider system. What this all really shows is just how flexible this half-rack one-use solution is in real-world deployments. You can take up to 4 HDMI sources, distribute full-resolution video to the display, while simultaneously breaking out and routing audio in multiple formats, whether that's multi-channel analog, optical, or directly into a Dante Controller environment. From there, you can feed local surround systems or create a dedicated 2-channel zone or distribute audio across a wider Dante network to amplifiers and speakers elsewhere in the building. For integrators, this means a single product that can bridge traditional AV and networked audio workflows, making it ideal for applications like high-end residential cinemas, marine installs, hospitality spaces, or even production environments where flexibility and format handling are critical. Next up, we've got a solution that's going to bridge traditional AV matrixing and networked audio together. Now, our Custom Pro platform is a fully modular, HD-based team matrix, and importantly, it's the only solution in the range that offers native integration with a Dante network. With the addition of the Pro-In 4HD8 card, It's got HDMI embedded audio that can be extracted and routed directly into Dante controller or replaced with audio coming from elsewhere on the network. For you as an integrator, that means complete flexibility, taking local source audio into a wider distributed system or injecting centrally managed Dante audio back into HDMI outputs for delivery alongside video. Because the platform is modular, you can scale from smaller systems right up to 16 by 16, mixing and matching input and output cards to suit the project. So whether it's residential, commercial, or a hybrid AV deployment, this will give you a powerful way to unify video distribution with truly flexible networked audio. Now, the last thing we'll take a look at today is how our AV over IP platform integrates with the Dante audio. With both the IP250 UHD and IP350 UHD systems, Dante and AES67 audio crosspoints are built directly into the transmitters and receivers, so you're not relying on external gateways to move audio on and off the network. What really sets these apart for integrators is the network flexibility. With dual LAN ports on each endpoint, you can separate your video network from your Dante audio network, aligning with best practices recommended by Audinate. Now, this helps ensure that multicast video traffic and time-sensitive audio streams don't interfere with one another. In larger systems especially, this becomes critical. Whether you're physically separating switches or VLAN segmentation, it gives you much greater control over QoS, bandwidth, and overall system stability. The end result is a scalable AV over IP solution that doesn't just support Dante, but is designed to work alongside it cleanly and reliably in real-world deployments. That said, for smaller systems, you don't necessarily need to go to that level of network separation. So where you've got a limited number of endpoints and lower overall bandwidth demand, AV over IP video streams and Dante audio can comfortably coexist on the same network infrastructure. This can simplify the design and reduce overall system cost while still delivering reliable performance. As always, it comes down to scale and network planning, but it's good to know the platform gives you the flexibility to support both approaches, depending on the requirements of the project. Looking first at the transmitter, there are three ways we can bring audio into the system. We can take analog audio via the 5-pin Phoenix connector, supporting both balanced and unbalanced signals, and we can use the audio embedded within the incoming HDMI source. Or lastly, we can pull in two channels directly from the Dante controller ecosystem via Dante or AES67. What's powerful here is how that audio can then be used. The analog input, for example, can be embedded onto the HDMI stream and distributed across the AV over IP system to all receivers. At the same time, it can also be encoded independently onto the Dante network, so you're effectively feeding both video endpoints and the wider audio system simultaneously. That kind of flexibility gives you multiple paths for the same audio source without needing additional hardware or conversion stages. Now, looking at the HDMI side of things, we get that same level of flexibility. The embedded audio coming in on the HDMI input can be handled in three different ways. It can be broken out locally via the 5-pin analog audio output. It can remain embedded and be distributed with the video across the AV over IP system, or it can be encoded directly onto the Dante controller network. So again, you're not locked into a single signal path. You can take that HDMI audio and use it locally, distribute it with video, or make it available anywhere in the Dante network, all from the same transmitter. And finally, we can also bring audio in from the network itself. If you're pulling in two channels from Dante or AES67 via the Dante controller, that audio can either be broken out locally on the analog output, or it can be used to replace the embedded HDMI audio. That means you can take centrally managed audio sources like a DSP, microphone mix, or background music and inject it directly into the video stream for distribution across your AV over IP system. So again, it's all about flexibility. Whether audio originates locally, over HDMI, or from the Dante network, you've got full control over how it's routed, converted, and distributed. On the receiver side, we carry that same level of flexibility through to an endpoint. Each receiver includes a Dante controller endpoint, allowing you to take two channels of Dante or AES67 audio and break that out locally via the analog Phoenix connector, completely independent of what's happening on the HDMI side. So, if you want, the HDMI can continue to pass its original embedded audio straight through to the display untouched. Or, alternatively, you can override that at the receiver level, injecting a different Dante audio feed and replacing the HDMI embedded audio just at that endpoint. Now, that's a really powerful use case for things like localized audio zones, language tracks, or signage applications where the audio, or the video, I should say, is common, but the audio needs to change per display. And finally, looking at the audio that's arriving with the video stream. So that's the embedded HDMI audio coming into the receiver, and that can be handled in a few different ways. It can be broken out locally via the 5-pin Phoenix connection, passed straight through with the HDMI to the display, or it can be extracted and sent into the Dante controller network as its own independent stream. What's important here is that this Dante stream will always follow the selected video source for that zone. So, wherever the video switches to, the associated audio follows automatically into the Dante ecosystem. That makes it really an ideal handoff point for things like a Dante-enabled amplifier, giving you a really clean way to keep audio and video aligned while still maintaining full flexibility across the wider system. And then finally, we have the optical input on the receiver. Now, this gives us a really useful way to bring local display audio back into the system. So if the display is being used with its own internal sources, whether that's built-in apps, signage players, or something like Freeview, we can take that optical output and feed it directly into Dante or AES67. From there, that 2-channel audio can be routed via Dante controller to a specific amplifier or audio zone completely independent of the video distribution. This is particularly valuable in real-world installs where the display isn't always tied to a centralized source, giving you a clean way to integrate local content back into the wider audio system without additional hardware. So that's going to go ahead and bring us to the end of today's session. Now, hopefully this has given you a clear view of how Dante and AES67 can be integrated across a wide range of AV applications, from simple audio breakouts through to full system routing alongside video. If you'd like to learn more, head over to www.blustream-us.com to explore the full product range or download the latest solutions brochure. You can also reach out to your authorized Blustream distributor or regional manager for project support and system design guidance. And of course, be sure to follow Blustream on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook to stay up to date with the latest product releases and updates. So thanks again for your time. We look forward to supporting you again on your next project. Okay, so now that we've wrapped up, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the questions that have come through. Hopefully we got some. All right, here we go.